I'm having a ball listening to the music. Well, this is Show Up to Marissa Bloedoorn. I am the CEO and editor-in-chief of Own It Magazine and Publishing. And as I prepared for this session with you, I did a review, and according to Forbes, January 2nd, 2024, there are 11 skills that emerging executive leaders, as well as emerging leaders, should really focus on and master in this year. And I added a 12th, actually number one, to that. And I'm just going to go through that really quick with you, because as you think about showing up and rising up, it's critical for us to do a lot of introspective work as leaders. As we look at, I always use this kind of mindset and terminology. You are the CEO of your life, and it's time to make executive decisions, whether that's in your life, your career, or your business. It's you. And a lot of the skill sets that Forbes is offering here really is speaking to self-development. As we grow as leaders, we should always be open to building up our skill set, staying relevant and current, and also because it adds to our own personal fulfillment. We don't want to become complacent. We want to keep our energy high. And so I just want to offer you this. I'm going to read off to you the 11, and if you'd like to go into depth into the article, you could just do a search. It's called, the title of the article is called 11 Leadership Skills to Build On in 2024 for Executives and Emerging Leaders. Put that in Google, it's Forbes, it'll come right up. And you can read into it extensively, into their purpose behind executive leaders and emerging leaders to focus on these areas of development. And like I said, I added an additional one, and I put that additional one at the top, especially for women. And why is that important? Because in order for you to take care of everyone else, you have to put on your own lifeboat, right? Your own life jacket, your lifesaver. You have to make sure that you're equipped. When you're going flying on an airplane, they tell you what, put your mask on. Anyone else. And so this skill I felt was more at the top of the list, so to speak. And one I believe that Forbes missed that is critical for sustainability and ongoing growth and development, and also fulfillment. And that is self-love and care. We hear often self-love, we hear often self-care, but self-love leads to self-care. If you're loving yourself, you are going to take care of yourself. And one thing I want to is in this season, as technology is, constantly going, and we got to keep up with technology and keep up with everything that's going on these days. It's so important for sustainability to have a solid foundation. Is how do we take care of ourselves? So before I dive into self-love and self-care, I want to give you the other 11 skills that they offer for you to develop. And I agree. The only reason I'm sharing this with you is because I go to my are Forbes and Harvard Business Leadership Development. So it's self-care, it's emotional intelligence, adaptability, inclusivity, communication, creative problem solving, which, excuse me, really requires that we be open-minded to create problem solving methodologies that are going to be, that's really going to include not only your agenda as the leader, but also the agenda of developing your people, your team, because teamwork makes the dream work. And so creative problem solving opens us up to working with our teams in a different way, and that we're being creative and how everyone involved can benefit, learn, and grow. Collaboration. Collaboration requires sharing and trusting too. Tickle in my throat. And that's something that we don't do readily. Sometimes in collaborations, we're not trusting, we're guarding our ideas, we're guarding our intuition, our innovativeness, because we're concerned about someone taking credit for it. It's part of the risk. And you're going to have to really, really begin to be trusting, a little bit more trusting, intuition and instincts. Also self-regulating. Check your instincts. Check your how you're viewing things. How are you viewing things? Are you viewing things through a clear lens or a bias lens, right? So you want to make sure that your lens is clear in how you are looking at trusting and sharing and things like that. Because sometimes when we're crossed, we have a stay in that traumatic experience or that negative or adverse experience. And as emerging leaders, we have to look at it, assess it, evaluate it, and move forward. Everyone is not going to do the same thing. So make sure that you guard yourself, but also too that you allow yourself to be able to collaborate with others and see the bigger picture. You know what I mean? Like, see the bigger picture. You to take away from this in order for you to show up and rise up, right? You got to get what you came for, right? So rising up is what you want. So in order to rise up, you're going to have to master the ability to collaborate and see who's who, right? Who's the Judas? Who's in your boardroom is what I always say. And so in evaluating that. Resilience, that's the comeback. So again, resilience is, if something has been shattered or you've had a bad experience, that you don't let that debilitate you or paralyze you, that you are able to, again, assess, address, readjust, and move forward. Strategic thinking is very important as well. And it goes back to that mindset, that CEO mindset, who's in your boardroom, evaluating your team members and what skill sets they have, doing that SWOT analysis and the same areas of shortcomings or weaknesses. I'm not afraid to say weaknesses. Weaknesses is not a negative word. It's just telling you an area that needs to be developed, cultivated, or needs some attention to strengthen it. Threats are not, that's not a bad word. It's actually a word that it's a reality, that if something is a threat, it gives you the alarms that say, we have to address this. How do we turn this adversity into something that's positive, that created as an opportunity? How do we take that threat and turn it into an opportunity? That's strategic thinking, making sure that you are setting up, methods of measurements. How are you measuring your success? How are you setting things up in a way that you can track your growth consistently? Strategic planning is so important for you to see the bigger picture and how you're going to navigate to get there, to get to your end goal or your achievement. Learning. It's constant. Remember, we talked about earlier in regards to technology, everything. And at the third word I gave you was, or skill set I gave you was adaptability. This is important because adaptability is all about learning and being fluid, being flexible. The other thing is number 11 is sustainability and social responsibility. We are our brother's keeper. That whole thing of, to the top. The way that you rise up to the top is you help other people rise up as well. And you sustain that growth because you are looking back and saying, hey, let me help you rise up as well. So sustainability and social responsibility is to give back. What's your vision and mission? What is your heart and passion? Are you doing the work that you love to do and helping other people to do the same? Digital literacy, again, that skill set. That's again innovative. I was in a meeting last night and they were talking all of this stuff about web and cryptocurrency and how everything is going being digitized. I was excited because guess what? It's a learning opportunity. This opportunity that was presented to me captured everything as a leader and emerging CEO that I am. It created an opportunity for me to learn. And I remember last year just having an urgency to learn so much and built up my business so much that now it's like, oh gosh, I'm at a new level. I want to learn. I want to know more. I want to be proficient in things that I wasn't proficient in. I had my own magazine and publishing business. I have to know this business inside and out. That means that I have to know digital literacy. I have to know social responsibility. How do I give back? How do I get involved? And how do I make myself grow and stay? To rise up is so important that we do the things that make sure that we maintain relevance. And I want to go back to self-care. The way that you can do all of this, and I'm going to run it down real quick: emotional intelligence, adaptability, inclusivity, communication, creative problem solving, collaboration, resilience, strategic thinking, learning, and having openness, being open to learn, sustainability, responsibility, and digital literacy. The way that happens is when you yourself are happy as an executive, when you yourself are happy as an emerging leader. And how do you do that? You have to have self-awareness. What makes you tick? What ticks you off? What is your relaxation mode? How do you get relaxation? How do you have your me time? How do you make that a priority for yourself? And the reason I can speak so highly in regards to the importance of this is because internationally, especially women in the US, I now living here in the Dominican Republic for about 2 years now. It is what we call tranquila here. It's very relaxing here. The Caribbean Sea, that salt water gets in your head, it gets in your brain, it gets in your lungs, and it just relaxes you. So as a executive and running my own business, US to do any kind of projects or work with any of my clients that are in the US, I can see the high level of stress because you're not making yourself a priority. And so in this season, in 2024, in order for you to really dive into and cultivate and become proficient to another level, whatever level you are currently right now, to go to the next level, you have got to make a CEO decision, that chief executive decision about your life, your career, and your business. And you have to take care of you. It is so important in order for you to show up and be fresh and refreshed. You're going to have to do that self-love and self-care. Go to the spa, take a weekend away, go to an Airbnb, check in, grab a book, relax, make yourself step away from technology, step away from everything, do walk on the boardwalk, do a walk in the wilderness, whatever it is that you like to do meditation, do some retreats, and you can hit me up because I am going to be doing some retreat, refresh to reset. So you're welcome to get in touch with me and ask me in regards to those retreats, and their private one-on-one. Is your time to get away from the world and do that resetting, reset, or you're going to burn yourself out, and you're going to burn yourself out in the sense of your health. But when you do the resetting, when you take care of and make yourself a priority, you are rejuvenized. You are, you're happy because you're resting. You have got a chance to de-stress and debrief yourself from the world. And trust me, trust God, and know that when you come back, it is what it is. You're going to handle it. But if you don't, you're going to burn yourself out. And you don't want to do that. And so in order for you to show up and rise up, you're going to have to do that self-care. Again, the article is Forbes, and it is 11 leadership skills to build in 2024 for executives and emerging leaders. And I want to charge you, I gave it a 12th, which I pushed that 12th one all the way to self-care. Take care of yourself. I am looking forward to seeing you rise up to the top. Love you. Have an amazing 2024. God bless you. And I am believing God for him to do exceedingly and abundantly above all you could ever ask or think of. Take care.